Main causes of pedestrian accidents are driver distraction. Drivers are not paying attention. Either they're on their phone, they're texting, they're looking at the radio, or they're just generally not paying attention into what they're doing, which is the reason they're striking somebody who's in the street. The types of injuries people sustain as a result of a pedestrian knockdown can range from soft tissue injuries, where there's a sprain or strain or a disc herniation in their neck or their back, to breaking a bone. Sometimes it's a head injury, sometimes it's death, sometimes it's significant disfigurement. The types of injuries vary because you're taking an individual person who's struck by a car, and usually their body then is coming in contact with the ground. So the injuries could be very significant, including death. When somebody is injured as a result of a pedestrian knockdown, we want to hold as many people as we can accountable for their actions. Now, usually that's the owner and operator of the car. Sometimes that's one person, sometimes that's different people, and sometimes somebody is operating a vehicle in the course of their employment or on behalf of somebody else, and there may be somebody else who is responsible for the injuries caused by the driver of the vehicle. When someone comes to us after being struck by a vehicle, they are scared, they are angry, and they are in pain. They want to be comforted and know what to expect in this process. They want to know what they can seek compensation for. They want to know how their medical expenses are going to be paid for, and they have a lot of questions. And everybody at the Rizzuto Law Firm is responsive and we do our best to answer these questions and put the clients at ease. When a pedestrian is struck by another vehicle, they can be compensated for their pain and suffering. They can be compensated for pain and suffering throughout the remaining course of their life expectancy. They can be compensated for lost wages, their future lost wages. They can be paid for their out-of-pocket medical expenses. They can be compensated for their medical expenses into the future over the remaining course of their whatever their life expectancy is. They can be compensated for having to hire people to do the things that they were doing before the accident, such as household help. If you have to hire a landscaper because you're no longer able to cut the grass or do the yard work, you have to hire people to do these things, you can be compensated for that. The Rizzuto Law Firm has extensive experience in representing pedestrians who have been struck by vehicles and who have been injured as a result. The attorneys here have over 100 years of combined experience representing pedestrians who have been injured and have had their lives altered. Clients come to us in several ways. A lot of clients are referred by their friends or people they know. A lot of clients come to us because they are referred by other attorneys, and a lot of clients find us online. However they come to us, the reason they hire us is because of our experience. We are responsive, we make them feel comfortable, and we gain their trust. Our current and our past clients would say our firm fights hard. We fight hard from the beginning. We keep them informed throughout the process. We are responsive to their needs. When they call or they email, we get back to them immediately. And when they call the office, they will always speak to a live person. And I find a lot of people appreciate that as opposed to having to dial in through voicemail. Client communication, especially in personal injury cases, is essential. And it is the key to succeeding in any one of these cases and every one of these cases. Because in order for us to succeed in doing our job, the client has to know what's going on. The client has to know what's expected of them. And we do that. We tell the clients from the initial intake what the process is, what we expect of them, and what they should expect from us. The Rizzuto Law Firm is a small firm, but we're not a solo firm. We have several attorneys that work here. All the attorneys are capable of handling cases from intake through trial. We've all tried cases. We're all capable of trying cases, and the insurance companies know that we are a litigation firm and we will go to trial if we're not presented with a fair offer. The advantage of hiring a firm like us is Every person in the firm, whether it's the support staff or the attorneys, is virtually familiar with every case that's in our office. We have a case management system that we can all access in order to answer any questions if a client calls and the person who is assigned to the file is unavailable. One other main advantage of hiring our firm and a firm of this size, but specifically our firm, is that our staff has worked together for a long time. We've had attorneys here for over 20 years that started when they were in law school. We've had support staff that have been here 15, 20, and over 25 years. When someone who has been struck by another vehicle and comes to us for an initial consultation, we walk them through the process from intake up until resolution. We explain to them what they need to do in order to help us move their case forward and come to a successful resolution. We explain to them how they need to communicate with us and what our communications will be with them throughout the process. We explain to them the risks of going to trial. We explain to them the rewards of settling a case. We explain to them the rewards of going to trial. And we make them feel as comfortable as possible with the process and offer whatever assistance that we can provide to them to answer whatever questions they have so they are comfortable and they know they will be taken care of.